Many people ask us, how do we provision our boat when we go to the Bahamas for a couple months? Let me show you.
One look in your eyes and I find it. When you leave in my mind I rewind it. When you got it this good, you don't fight it.
One of the problems when we go to the Bahamas for a couple of months is we never know when we're going to get fresh food and fresh eggs. One of the solutions I found is probably one of the oldest solutions around, which is called egg glassing. It's basically using a pickling line, and for a jar this size, I use probably about a quarter cup. Now, they say it will last for a year. You basically take an egg, a fresh egg from a chicken with the bloom still on it, and you just put it in the solution. This is an excellent way to preserve your eggs. Another thing that I do for fermentation and pickling of stuff is I do sauerkraut. Now, the only vegetable you'll find on my boat is cabbage. We take cabbage to the Bahamas all the time. It doesn't have to be refrigerated. I just wrap it in cellophane. What I do to make my sauerkraut is I just chop it up, put like a heaping tablespoon of salt, massage it in, chuck it in a jar, and let it sit for a couple days. Then you got fresh sauerkraut. Another thing I pickle is red onions. They don't seem to last as long on the boat. Maybe it's because of the humidity, I'm not sure, but it's yummy for any sandwich or anything. Another thing I do is I make my own vanilla extract, which is just vodka and vanilla beans put together, and they just sit. And then you got vanilla extract, which you can use in pancakes or whatever. The thing I make is my own yogurt on the boat. You can make that with powdered milk, which doesn't take up any refrigeration room, and you just make it as you need it. You can use an old starter with it, or you can buy a yogurt, and you only need a quarter cup for 4 cups of milk. And basically what you do with this is you bring it up to a boil to about 185, then you let it rest to about 110. Once it cools down to 110 degrees, you put about a quarter cup of starter culture, either an old batch or one you got from the store. Mix it in, let it sit in a warm place for 8 hours, and then you got yogurt. And if you want to make it Greek yogurt, you just put it in a strainer and let the whey drip out. And with the whey from the yogurt, you can add lemon to it, boil it, and then you got regatta cheese. Another thing I do on the boat is I do sprouts. It's really easy. You just need a jar and water, and put like a tablespoon of seeds in this with some water, drain out the water. In a couple days, you got fresh sprouts that you can put on sandwiches, tacos, whatever. It's delicious. It's like a salad. Also with the rinds from a pineapple, because who doesn't have a pineapple on their boat? I make tempache, which is you just ferment the rinds and with water, and then you have this nice little champagne type that you can add vodka to it, drink it straight. It's delicious. If you never had tempache, you should certainly try it, and it's made from something you would generally throw out. Pickling and preserving food, it gives me a lot more options of what I can make on the boat. So I know you wanted to see some boats, so here's a little break with some boat porn. One of the most important things we take to the Bahamas on our boat are dry goods. I always have dried beans, all different types. I have rice and dried potatoes. With the dried potatoes, I can make mashed potatoes, I can make potato patties, and I can use it as a thickener. I also have noodles that I keep on the boat, a bunch of different types of noodles, and you can make a ton of stuff with that. And powdered butter, which is lasts like 10 years or so. And let's see, of course, all my spices I have, I do bulk on that. Beans, nuts, all kinds of nuts. Another thing that we keep is a lot of coffee beans. We usually have 2 big bags of this that we take to the Bahamas with us. We drink a lot of coffee. We have the Breville, so we can have cappuccinos, lattes, and espressos or Americanos. As you can tell, I love coffee. They also make an egg powder and a heavy cream powder. You can keep them on your boats too. I do use the powdered milk, which I use to make my yogurt. As far as dried food, well, I bring dried mushrooms. I bring fresh herbs, but I let them dry out on the boat, so then they're dried herbs. Also dried fruit for cocktails, dried onions, which you can reconstitute in water, the same with the mushrooms, and dried vermouth. Another dry ingredient I have on the boat at all times is flour. You can make plenty of things with flour. You can make noodles. There she goes. Okay. And another essential dry ingredient I take on the boat is flour and cornmeal. I can make noodles, I can make breads, I can make pizza, I can make pitas, all kinds of things. With the cornmeal also goes with the pizza, and you can make polenta, cornmeal, bread, cornbread. So these are really two super essentials that I keep on the boat. And I do have a bread machine on the boat, which makes making bread super easy. And yeast, I have yeast too. I think that's about it for dry goods. If I remember anything else, I'll tell you about it. Okay, time for a little break. Let's run some boat porn. In addition to dry goods, we take a lot of canned goods on the boat too. Canned tuna, canned chicken, canned ham, Spam. Spam is a goodie. What else do we take? And also canned soup. Canned soups are an easy grab. If anybody's hungry, they can just pop it open, put it in the microwave, bada bing, bada boom, they got soup. We take anchovies, which I can use on pizza. I can make Caesar salad dressing, which is just anchovies, egg yolks, and lemon. Coconut cream, I can do all kinds of things with coconut cream. It's good with fish, it's good with corn. It's good to have on the boat. A lot of canned tomatoes, crushed whole, which I like. Salsa we can use just with chips, or I can use it in an additive to make like chili or whatever. We also take canned fruit. It's pretty much the only fruit that lasts the longest on the boat. It has no sugar in it, so it's good. It's okay. We take peanut butter and tahini. Tahini and chickpeas, you mash these up, put some tahini in it, little lime, you got the best hummus you'll ever have. Olive oils. Olive oils. The only broth I take is beef broth, because I make broth from chicken bones on the boat, and I also make seafood broth from lobster shells and shrimp shells. Another thing that we take, thank you Dana and Eric, is candied jalapenos. These things are delicious. If you never tried them, you should. The thing we take is corned beef in the jar, which makes delicious SOS. As far as other jarred and canned stuff, I have a ton of spices. My spice cabinet on the boat is overfloweth, which just adding spices can enhance food so much. A couple other things that I also keep on the boat are spring rolls, which are delicious. You can use the canned chicken in this with some of your sprouts and just put some soy sauce on it. It's really good, or duck sauce, whatever. And then is soy wraps and nori. And nori is delicious to make sushi with when I talk the local fishermen into giving me fish. I also vacuum seal a lot of snacks together in the fridge, so it's a grab and go thing, which makes it really convenient when you're underway. And one thing we surely are not going to the Bahamas without is alcohol. We usually have plenty of vodka, plenty of wine, all types of beers, soda, seltzers, just about anything you need to make a wonderful drink to enjoy the sunsets in the Bahamas. This is just about everything that I for sure have on the boat when we spend 2 months in the Bahamas. This way, if we stop and if we see fresh fruit or fresh vegetables, or milk, we can just pick that up. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Is there something I missed that you like to bring on long cruises? Comment below, let us know. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and ring that bell.